Welcome back to the Matt Mettler podcast broadcast. This is episode 25. 25. Can you believe it? The Matt Mettler podcast is 25 episodes old. That's amazing. That's incredible. I'm very glad to be here. I am your host, Matt Mettler. Thank you for joining me here on the most watched channel on BitChute with no subscribers. So I just want to thank all you guys that are not subscribing but watching this channel. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. It seems like that's a thing here on BitChute. It doesn't seem like likes and joining is so much a thing. It's just, we'll just watch your content. Just be happy enough that we're watching your content. I'm just happy enough that you're watching the content. But if there's somebody out there that would like to pull the trigger, man, that would like to be my subscriber, you could be the first subscriber to the Matt Mettler podcast. How freaking cool would that be, right? You could do it. You could click, and then the next person, you can't be the first, but you could be the next. So like you guys could be out there, you could join, you could do it, man. You could totally do it. I know this. So, so who's going to be first, man? Come on. Who's going to be first? Who's going to be my first subscriber? You? Will it be you out there? You can do it, man. You can, or you, gal, ma'am, sir, you can do it. Just subscribe, right? I would love if you guys would subscribe. That would help me a lot. That would give me an idea of where I stand. Because one of the things that I know for certain is that my YouTube channel is black holed. Dude, they have black holed my YouTube channel. I must be a serious threat. Ideas must be the most dangerous things in the world right now because, man, it's all I'm really talking about is ideas, right? So, because to be honest, I'm nothing. I'm one guy. Right? But YouTube is definitely suppressing me. Like I've had no views on a video that I put up like 3, 4, 5 days ago. Right? That shouldn't happen on a platform with millions of viewers. When I had a show that had 56 views over there. It's ridiculous that it's just entirely dropped off without them having some role to play in that, right? Because over here on BitChute, my videos are doing just fine. I'll put out a video on BitChute, 3 hours later, it has 25 views. So what's up, YouTube? YouTube is suppressing people. That's all there is to it. YouTube is suppressing people straight up, and they're suppressing me. And so what I've decided to do is like, I now upload it to BitChute first. I give BitChute like the advantage. I'll put it on BitChute 5 days before I'll put it on YouTube. Because if YouTube is going to play me like that, well, then let me play back. Why should you get exclusive access to my content? I'm now effectively making my content for my BitChute audience because it is my BitChute audience that's actually supporting this channel. It ain't YouTube in any kind of way. I got several things that I wanted to talk about during this show, but one of the things that I really, that I'm going to address first, that it kind of cranked me up this morning, man. So last night I was smurfing on Twitter late at night. You should never smurf on Twitter late at night because when you're tired, you're going to say stupid shit, right? So I got on Twitter and Allie Beth Stuckey, who's a conservative comedian who I very much respect and who I think is actually quite funny and I like her videos. She had tweeted out that Beto O'Rourke in a speech, he had talked about the fact that America is founded as a racist country and America's a racist country. I couldn't take it, man. I'm tired. I'm so tired of hearing this. So I responded to Allie Beth's tweet. I was like, what a D-bag. America is so racist. Last night, I watched a room of mostly white people donate $500,000 to help people that they barely knew in Africa. Is that how we demonstrate our racism in America? Is by being incredibly generous and donating to people that we barely even know to give them an opportunity and to give them hope to have an amazing and bright future? Is that what racist people do? To be honest, to be fair, yeah, I know we got a few bad folks. We got some racist people out there. We got some criminals out there. We got some bad people out there. You know, maybe I think sometimes folks, they get pissed off, they get angry, and their little angry devil racist streak comes out and says something nasty, right? But does that mean that that's where they really live or reside mentally? I don't think so. I think the vast majority of people are just trying to get along. They're just trying to make their way in America and get along. But compared to the number of people in America, it's actually a pretty small number, man. It's a relatively small amount. And I would argue that it makes us no different than any other nation. Every other nation has these same problems, has these same sort of issues going on within their own societies. We're not alone in this. But it's worth noting that they kind of come in every color. There are racist people that come in every color. It's not white people alone that are the only racist people. And so this kind of goes back to, in defense of America, it's just not right that people constantly try and say that America is a racist country. We're just not. We're just not, dude. The vast majority of Americans reject racism, okay? I know this for a fact, man. I work with all kinds of amazing and great people. I have had the great honor of working with some of the most successful people in the world. In the entertainment business, I have worked with some of the most successful people in the world. You know what? A fair number of those people were black. It would not be possible for those people to be as popular and as wealthy and as successful as they are if we were truly a nation full of racists. It's just nonsense. And I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of the left saying that we're a racist nation, or that, that all of us white folks are racist. That's bullshit. We're not. I very much want to judge people on the content of their character to the best of my ability. So it really upset me. And so I responded back that, America is so racist that last night I watched a room full of mostly white people donate $500,000 to black folks to help them get a better education and job training and a lot more. I said, that's how racist we are. Loser. Retrospectively, I should not have done that. I was name calling. It was immature. I shouldn't have done that. It was late. It was late at night. It was a poor judgment call. I concede that, right? So I wake up this morning, my Twitter doesn't work. It says, there is an error. Please try again. Please retry. Oh no, it says, oops, something went wrong. Please retry, right? Nothing went wrong. Why don't you guys just tell me I'm blocked? Why don't you just tell me you said some crazy shit last night? We're putting you on pause for 7 days while you think about it, right? Nope. I just get this thing where I just get an error. I'm not allowed to see any tweets. I'm not allowed to do anything, right? So, and I'm new to Twitter. That was only my 56th tweet ever, right? So I'm pretty new to Twitter. But to me, it's like, why can he call the entire nation racist, but I can't call him a loser for calling him on it, man? We're not a racist country. We're not. I don't want to hear that nonsense anymore. Yes, there are racist people in America, but it's not the majority of us by any means. As a matter of fact, the vast majority of Americans completely shun racism in public, dude. If they are racist, they have to be closet racist, because it's just not acceptable anymore to do that shit unless you're hanging out with a bunch of dudes that got swastikas tattooed on them and shit. And I'm not. So I don't know what to tell you guys on that, man. But America is not a racist country. And I want you guys to know that I'm not super nationalist in any way. But here's what I want to say about it. I do love this country, and I love the people in it. Every place has its kind of own bullshit going on, right? But we have an incredibly diverse group of people here in America. I've worked with amazing people, and that's one thing that's cool too. In America, we value what you bring to the table at the job. I've worked with amazing people from India, incredibly sharp, smart people that were very competent, that were really good at doing their jobs, right? That had a real joie de vivre for life, right? I love those people, right? Another great example is in show business. I've worked with a lot of really amazing, great Asian people. And Asian people have the most incredible work ethic. They never complain. They're just about teamwork. I love them, right? They're like the best people to work with. They really are. You'll never hear them do it. Maybe they'll complain to their wife, but they won't complain at work. I just got to say, I've worked with a lot of amazing people from all over the planet, and I love them all. I have mixed shows with artists from every country, right? And I love them all. Every one of them. All I'm asking people to do in America, just question everything, right? because we do a lot of things for a lot of reasons where we don't even know why we do it. We need to question that. We need to revamp the way we do things, and it starts by questioning how we do things. This is a country that is the most giving country in the world. This is a country that is full of good folks that when times are tough, when disaster strikes, thousands of people come out of the woodwork to donate everything. Everything. If you lost a snowboard, somebody would donate one so that you would have one. That's the country that we live in. I don't want to cry. The reason it brings me to tears is because we're such an incredibly good country. It's all right to cry. Crying takes the sad out of you. It's all right to cry. It might make you feel better. America is the most generous nation on the planet, dude. When it comes to giving, when it comes to wanting to help, Americans do it more than anybody. Americans give more than anybody. Mostly what America is a country full of amazing, giving people. Mostly. It really upsets me. We're good people. I think about, as a perfect example, is we donate all the time to all kinds of crazy good causes. And, I worked an event the other night where it was a fundraiser, and it was to help kids. Well, not just kids. It was to help people, to help the people of Uganda. And I have to say, I was pretty impressed, right? They weren't just talking about helping these folks. They were actually helping these folks. They were giving them vocational training. They were helping them have a place to live while they get schooling and while they get an education, and giving them a place that's free from perhaps the violence or the gang activity and things like that from where they're coming from. Because you're talking about kids who desperately want to escape that stuff. They had to do all kinds of things to get into this place, to get these opportunities, and they are grateful. You can tell. And you can also tell that it's working, right? Because they've taught people basically how to be entrepreneurs. In Africa, because there's a lack of infrastructure to support things, you really kind of have to figure out your own way. And so they're really giving people, and especially women and kids, the tools to have a better path, to have a better life, man. I support that. There was incredibly generous people that donated a lot of money to help them achieve that goal. And I think it's so honorable for them to be doing that, right? Like, it was really great to see that, right? It's great to work these events where I see the generosity of Americans. I know of no other country in the world that is as generous as we are, as Americans are. We just are. We're a really giving country, man, full of great giving people. My next subject is, do you have Stockholm Syndrome for your government? Stockholm Syndrome is something that occurs in people who are kidnapped. Once they've been kidnapped, the kidnapper almost becomes like the mother and father figure. The kidnapped begins to look at them as though they actually have their best interests at heart, as though they're held against their will. I do believe that all of us have a bit of Stockholm Syndrome for our government. That's why I wanted to say earlier that I do love my country and I love the people in it, but I'm not overly hugely thrilled with the way the government runs right now. I think it could be improved. I think it could be slimmed down. I think it could be streamlined, right? So we are not even close to being a racist country. Not to say that we don't have racism. We do. But we're not a racist country. We're not. We're a giving country. We're an amazing country full of givers and people who recognize that it is better to give than receive, right? Message. Oh, so yeah, back to the Stockholm Syndrome for our government, right? We do have Stockholm Syndrome for the government. The government right now is kind of our captor, right? And I know the founding fathers never meant for it to be like that. That was one of the things that they wanted to avoid. That was why they wanted to limit its size. I need to explain something. Part of the reason I want to see the government shrink, and part of the reason I want to see its scope become more limited, is because then it won't have the resources to have its boot on people's necks. Then it's going to have to back off of people and leave people alone because it just won't have the resources to strong arm people, right? The founding fathers, I don't think they intended for our government to become the strong arm bully of the world. And I feel like that's where we're going. And I think about that movie. I think about Real Genius with Val Kilmer, where he talks about it's a moral imperative. You know, it's a moral imperative to fight and stop the people in the world who are trying to make it bad, who are trying to mess things up, right?
Department of Social Security Administration. The reason you have received this phone call from our department is to inform you that we just suspend your Social Security number because we found some suspicious activity. So if you want to know about this case, just press 1. Thank you.
Give me a break. They're so funny. What those jackasses have no idea of is, as a former IT security guy, give me a break, man. Give me a break. You don't really think I'm going to fall for that shit, do you? Come on now. Come on now. That's ridiculous. Man, that's ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous. Ain't no way I'm going for that shit. Come on now. Come on. Thank you guys for being with me on this episode. This one was a little bit tough for me, man. There was a lot of things that were that make me very emotional from a standpoint of like I said, I'm not an overly nationalistic guy, but at some point I do have to come to the defense of America because I've seen a lot of other places, and at least have some basis off which to judge it, right? So America is a pretty good place all in all. If you were to travel around the world, you would realize that. Now, America is not without its problems. America is not without its trouble spots. But the whole of America, nah, man, we're a pretty good place. We got a lot of great people in this country. We got a lot of good souls that are trying to do good work and that are trying to help and guide the future to prosperity and joy, man. And I don't like that people out there try to just call us a racist country. That's ridiculous. That is nonsense. That is nonsense, man. We are not. I wanted to say thank you so much, guys, for watching the Matt Mettler podcast, and make sure that you join me. I got lots of other episodes that you can check out. Please watch those other episodes. If you're bored, you're waiting on me to get out the next episode, you can always watch the older ones. And I very much appreciate you guys for liking, subscribing, sharing, and talking about it. Who wants to be my first? Who wants to be my first, baby? Come on. You can be the first person to join the Matt Mettler podcast. Do you realize that practically would make you famous? Come on, man. Somebody join and subscribe to my channel. I got a lot of peepers out there who watch my stuff, right? Come on, you guys. You can do it. Subscribe. Hit that like button. Come on. Come on, man. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Come on, man. Help a brother out. Smash that thumbs up. Boop. All you got to do is go boop. Just smash the thumbs up. Please make sure that you join me on the next episode of the Matt Mettler podcast. Thank you so much. The Matt Mettler podcast is a Matt Mettler production, copyright 2019.